This is episode 20 of Echoes from the Arena. We've been on a hiatus. I moved, and there was the holidays, but we come together for an emergency pod because Bills fired their head coach, Sean McDermott, this past Monday, and felt like some reaction might be needed. Um, if nothing, uh, if not just for some catharsis for ourselves.
hmm
Dad, what are your thoughts?
Well, first, I'm glad we waited because everybody had a knee-jerk opinion after we heard the news on Monday morning, was it? And so I'm glad we kind of waited until we were able to listen to yesterday's press conference with Bean and Pagula. So yeah, to answer your question, and I think when I text you on Monday. It wasn't expected, the firing now I'm talking about. In my world, it wasn't expected. I wasn't even thinking about it. It wasn't even on the radar.
I
But then
wasn't
I'm
really
not
thinking about
sh
it either,
Yeah, but then I'm not shocked by it.
but I'm also not shocked by it.
And then after listening to Pagula and the reasons he gave for the firing, the fact that the club was very dejected, but then they would be
They
dejected.
would
I
be
mean, it
dejected.
was a disappointing loss. It was a loss where in parts of the game they underachieved. Four turnovers. You don't win many games in the NFL with four
Mid
turnovers,
five?
or five, was it?
Yeah.
And we were playing against the officials. Not that I'm going to use that as an excuse, but it did
In the
have a
most
bearing in the
critical
game.
juncture of the game.
hmm And I know we're getting
The
off your
McDermott
question.
firing has kind of taken that thing out of the news cycle,
It has. It has.
but they called the same fucking thing in the Rams game the other direction.
Yeah, the other direction. And I would say, I don't have the analytics in front of me, but I would say majority of the calls would go to the receiver if it was a close play like that.
Well,
As a
if
matter of
it's a
fact,
tie, it goes to the receiver.
yeah, it does go to the receiver. So the way I viewed it, and I kind of broke it down, very slow, and it looked like his knee was down and he still had possession of the ball.
He
So
still had
that's
possession of
down
the
by
ball on his
context,
back.
right? That's down by
But tell me
context.
he's not down there. You
He's
can't tell
down.
me that.
Yeah, yeah. But I think, as I told you, the one that I got more perturbed about was the one earlier in regulation when Cooks was grossly interfered
Held.
with. He
Yeah.
was he was hooked. He was hooked. His arm was hooked. Gene Steratore, again, being the league's mouthpiece, was saying, "Well, that's hand checking." No, that was not hand checking. I know what hand checking is. That was a hook.
Uh-huh.
That was a
Yeah.
penalty, plain and simple, in
But
the
you know what?
essence
When
of the
that play
rule.
happened, I thought to myself, well, they're really letting him play.
Oh yeah, and up to
Only to
up to
find
that time they
out
were.
they're not
It
they're
wasn't
not
applied
going
equally.
to, because there's going to be the interception reception and two pass interference calls. One which I thought was very soft,
Yeah, yeah,
uh, in overtime.
exactly, exactly. But getting back to the your original question about the firing, surprised, not surprised. I know you and I have talked over the years, and it does get old when you get to this point of the season, and it's the same thing every year. We can't beat Kansas City.
Mm.
Now go into Denver and in a game that I think we should have won. But we go into Denver and we turn the ball over and we make mistakes, and I'm not knocking anybody for being competitive, but that whole turn of events just before the half
Was a shit show.
was embarrassing. And I don't know what, was Josh, I'm assumed he was given the go ahead by
The
the
coaching
coaching
staff to
staff
try
to
to get
do
in field
that.
goal range.
So, which is great. But when he saw that this was not going to happen, then for Christ's sakes, just slide and get out of the half. Um,
Yeah.
so it's just these craziness, some of this craziness. I don't think I saw any. Did you see any incidents of any game day indecisions by the coaching staff
Not really.
in
The
this game?
indecisions were in the referee booth.
Yeah, that was bad. That
This
was
is
really
what
bad.
I'll say, and I've shared this with you, but for me, it's I would hate to get to year 15
Right.
with Josh out of his prime now
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and still be in the same place, having
Right.
not made a Super Bowl.
Right.
And I think that his personally, if it was actually me, I would have fired him a couple years ago
Well, I know you would have. Yeah.
because I felt like this was that they did a great job of getting us to this place, but there
Well,
needs
they
to
did.
be something. So I don't doubt that he'll get if he wants a job, he'll get one.
Well, I'm sure he wants to continue to coach. Like you said, I'm sure he'll get one. I don't know if it'll be this year. I don't, the attractive jobs are um a few. I would say obviously our opening would be attractive to most coaches, as would Baltimore's,
Baltimore
being
filled
that.
theirs.
Oh, did they fill theirs?
Yeah,
Who's
this
their who's
I
their
don't know the
head
guy,
coach?
the DC from the Chargers.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's Shula. Is that Shula?
Mm-mm.
Um,
It's another game.
no. Oh, man, you're right. Shula's with the Rams. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, some of the jobs that are currently available aren't that attractive. Like the Browns is, they're just dysfunctional. Arizona, long way away from competing for a
The Browns,
championship.
they're gonna have to overpay somebody to take that job.
No, it's over. Yeah, without question. I still think their quarterback room is in flux. I don't know if Sanders is the guy.
Well, I know who's not the guy.
Yeah, me too.
Deshaun Watson
He's
and
not the
whoever
guy.
else they've been in there. But back to the, excuse me, back to McDermott. Um, I wasn't, I was also not, I was caught off guard, but I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, right.
I just think that, and I don't like the optics of a few things here. Uh, this felt like the loss that was least on Sean
Yeah,
of
it's true.
all of our playoff
That's true.
losses
Yes, that's very true.
because the defense only gave up 16 points off of 5 turnovers.
Hmm. Hmm.
They held them to 30 points. You would think with what we bring to the table, even with a short wide receiver room, we'd be able to get to that number. And up until the Cook fumble, it felt like we were well on our way there.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was
we might blow them away.
I thought we would have. That was a punch in the gut. I think we were destined to score in that
Yep.
series. I think we score and
Taking
we
we were
go
taking
up.
it
I think
14-3.
yeah, I think it's a whole different game. So that hurt.
And
However,
we know that we're getting the ball back at the half.
at the half, yes,
So it's
yes.
14-3 in the second quarter. They got to basically go down and score, which
Our
they did do.
our modus operandi basically held held water because pretty much all season we've been doing this. We've been making adjustments at the half.
Hmm.
We've been coming out in the third quarter and dominating, and we pretty much did that again.
Hmm.
Um,
Save the first drive.
yeah, except for the first drive, right? But and then the pick, the but yeah, I agree. I don't think this loss wasn't on Sean. I think the game plan was sound.
However, the results
Um,
are the results.
Results, that's exactly right. And it's, it's a what have you done for me lately league. And as your Uncle Bill used to always say in the NFL, you're hired to be fired.
Hmm.
I've heard that many times over the years. And it is true. You can be,
Most people get
well,
fired in
Bill
those
Belichick would have
situations.
been fired if he didn't resign. So
Side note, what do you think about him coming in for like 2 years?
it would be an interesting situation. I think it would be, I think
Maybe
we would
like a
win.
3-year deal.
I think we would win. Yes, I think we would win. I think we would go to the Super Bowl. Um, but I don't know if he will. I know he would have to buy out his NC contract, which I don't think would be hard to do.
No,
But
I,
it would
this
be
is
an interesting concept.
I'm just like floating this out there as
Yeah.
like a, especially if New England goes and wins the Super Bowl this year,
Yep.
I would think he would have a little, oh, you think you can do it without me, which you did, but
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me show you that I can do it again.
Right. Right.
And his defense has shut people down.
Yeah, I still think he has the touch. I just think it's a matter of does he want to do it? But you raised a
It,
good point. I never
yeah,
thought of the angle of well, I do know most likely that New England will go to the Super Bowl. I just don't think I don't care
I,
what you say about Jason Stidham. I just don't think will have enough
well,
reps
the
to be
fact that you
ready.
called him Jason tells you all you need to know
Oh,
about
that's
his
not his
name,
name.
Jarrett.
Or Jared Stidham.
But
Jason or Jared, I don't
I don't
see
even want to
him
waste any time talking
able
about the
to.
AFC Championship game because the NFL is getting everything that they deserve after
Hmm.
the atrocious refereeing
Yeah,
and
they got what they
officiating
wanted, didn't they?
in the when-
Hmm.
in the overtime
Yep. Yep.
all over the place. Um, but
So
back to
yes,
McDermott. So I think there was that, but then there was something that I haven't watched and may not watch, which was the press conference from yesterday.
it's yeah. So you didn't watch it?
No, I
Yeah.
don't know that I
So
want to.
I watched it. Ironically, I tried to watch it live, but the Bills app wasn't cooperating, so I did see it later in the day on the app. But it was a lot of people on social media totally blew it way out of proportion.
That's what I've seen and I don't know.
To use a
Could it
Aaron
have been that
Rodgers,
bad?
yeah, to use an Aaron Rodgers phrase, he would call it overreaction Monday. I would call it overreaction Wednesday.
Mm.
Uh, it was there were some. Well, you and I were talking earlier today.
Yeah.
Terry Pagula, I don't think likes to be in front of the camera and the microphone. Um,
Jake said, and I quote, he has a George W. personality
he
and
does.
he
He does.
just says what's on his mind.
Yes,
And
he does.
and he said, if I were a billionaire, I would do it too. Hell, I'm a thousandaire, and I still do it. Which
I mean,
I agree with actually.
he explained the reason for the firing, that it wasn't in his wheelhouse before the game, but after the game and after going into the locker room and saying how disappointed, I guess, is the best word to use, how disappointed the players were. He just felt that something had to be done, that we couldn't keep finishing seasons like we've been finishing seasons. And
Oh, I think
then
that's an important point. I mean, if
well, yeah.
I would be more concerned if I thought it was just from him walking into the locker room and seeing players dejected after
Hmm.
getting knocked out of the playoffs, because
Right.
that's just going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we can't keep finishing seasons like this.
No, we can't. Can't.
We only have so much prime of Josh.
And I would say
We need to maximize that.
back in Terry's mind, this probably wasn't far from being pushed to the forefront.
I think when I think going into next year, Sean might have come up on some lists of
No, I think
pushes
he
on
would
the
have been in the
hot
hot
seat.
seat. Yeah, I think he would have been in the hot seat all next season. So it's either, it was either now or maybe then. So
And well, if you do it then you got to, you know,
well, you got another year that Josh is
mid-season
a year
then.
older or something.
And
Yeah.
Josh is a year older, but then you're trying to, replace a coach mid-season, and it's going to be with somebody that's already on the staff. So then
Hmm.
you're burning another year, maybe.
And you go interim, and interim is yeah. So I like it or not, I think it was bound to happen. So it happened, and you got to get over it.
I think it's the right
And
move.
I,
I
I,
This is the most important hire
yeah, that's a very
now.
important hire.
This
Very
is
important hire.
the most important thing that has happened to the Bills in what,
Well, probably 9
since the
years.
Super Bowls,
Well, the
I
Super
think.
Bowls, or since we hired um, Sean 9 years ago, which he came to
Turned
Buffalo.
out to be a good hire.
It was a good hire. He changed the culture.
Raise the level.
It's a team that is pretty consistent, fun to watch. They are definitely Super Bowl favorites every year, as long as you got Josh in the lineup and James Cook.
I don't
We're,
I don't agree with this idea that like the culture leaves with Sean.
I don't believe in that. Yeah, I don't
I
believe
don't
that.
believe in it because I'm thinking the captains that are going to be on
Uh-huh.
this team
Yeah.
next year are
Yes.
all still the same guys. And that culture is going to be probably, um, kept alive by the veterans.
And if I was an
This is how
incoming,
we do things here. And
yeah,
if I was somebody coming in, I would say we're not changing that.
I wouldn't touch it. I would not touch a thing. Not a thing. Who do you I'm sure you've been thinking about it. So give me some opinions on who you might see as our next head coach.
Okay. I'm going to give you a few names. Um, Clint Kubiak,
Okay. Seattle, we'll see.
Seattle OC. Issues with him are pedigrees there, but the track record isn't really. The year before he was with New Orleans,
Okay.
but what did he really have?
We didn't have much, yeah.
You didn't have a quarterback
Right. Yeah.
or not a reliable
You
one.
had Radler.
And then before that, I think he was with San Francisco.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's on the Kubiak tree, which is I don't know what, or if he's on the Shanahan tree.
It's
I
kind
would
of
hope that
probably
he
on both.
brings more of the Shanahan
Yeah. Yeah.
thing because I like the creativity of his offenses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And no doubt, Seattle's done a lot with their offense. They've done more with their defense, but I've done a lot with their offense with Darnold. They make the NFC Championship game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's showing that he has more talent than he showed with the Jets and the Panthers. That maybe he was worth a first round pick, maybe not the third one, but uh,
Well,
I will.
I've definitely
I think the opportunity to take whatever his offense is and supercharge it, so to
right.
speak,
Yeah.
uh, would be an attractive opportunity.
Who else you got there?
Wasn't there that Jacksonville OC?
Yes, but I forget his
I
name.
can't think of his name. I'm not ready to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jacksonville had a nice season. That's it. And then they made a first round exit.
Yeah. So we've
What names
got
have you heard?
I've heard, okay, I've heard, well, I've read the list, and like you say, Kubiak's on it, Kingsbury's on it, but actually Kingsbury on it as an OC. He's not on it as a head coach, I don't believe.
I would be interested in that.
Yeah, but and then Shula's on it. Well, they had the list broken up: offensive minded coaches, defensive minded.
I
So
really don't have a defense. I don't have a a desire for a defensive-minded coach. I just went through 9 years of that.
Right, right.
I
So,
want somebody innovative, so even if the OC leaves, doesn't matter. It stays with the head coach. He's the brains behind the thing.
right, right. So I would say, well, okay, I heard Joe Brady,
Yeah, no.
who already interviewed for the job
Yep.
yesterday.
No
I'm
thanks.
not sure.
He's not
Again,
ready.
I'm cautious. Exactly. I'm cautious about these first-time head coaches, even though with Joe Brady it would be a seamless transition.
Hmm.
Josh likes him. Josh knows how to work with him. Brady knows Josh and everybody on the team.
I like his play
Brady knows the
calling.
culture. But like you say, I'm cautious turning the keys over to
To
someone who
someone
has not
brand
been a
new.
head coach yet. The other day that cropped up, Brian Dable.
He interviewed.
Yeah, he interviewed also. Interesting again,
I'm more apt to want to give that a spin because that's what he was one of the non-physical driving forces behind Josh's ascension in the league.
right? Exactly.
And
And I think
he's really creative
and I think
offensively,
he was getting, he was beginning early, early on getting Jackson Dart, you know, pointing in the
to
right
be
direction.
effective. Yeah.
So, and then they fired him, which I don't know why they did that because they weren't going to go anywhere anyway. But anyway, interesting again, fairly seamless, knows the
Would
culture,
be a little
knows the
different. Would
players, be a little different. Uh,
um,
Local guy, not obviously very much in tune with Buffalo and the fandom.
but definitely has a Josh relationship that
Josh
seemed to be very
relationship,
good.
yes. I mentioned, and I see what you think about this. As soon as your aunt texted me on Monday and said
Of course you did.
that, yep, that McDermott was fired, I'm the name that popped up in my head was Mike Tomlin.
Uh, I don't want it.
Well, I don't think he's interested in coaching at all this year. I think he wants to take some time off.
Good. I
So
think he needs some time
probably
off.
wouldn't be. See,
He's he's the most conservative like decision maker in the NFL.
I did say on Monday that I think that the coach should have a Super Bowl pedigree,
Hmm.
and that would be a Belichick. Yes, Tomlin, but I don't think Tomlin is going to be coaching next season anyway.
And I just
Um,
don't. I respect his.
McCarthy,
No,
too stuck in his
no,
ways.
mm-mm,
Game's
no.
passing him by, even though he's interviewing for the Pittsburgh job.
Fine. Let him go
Trying to
there.
think who else. Who else? What other young OCs were trying to think some of their names. I can't remember any of the names.
They change so fast that I don't. I
I
don't
know.
know.
But I agree with you. I don't think we should worry about hiring a defensive-minded head coach because I think we need to, um,
We need to have continuity on offense,
yes,
regardless of who the
just
offensive
hire
coordinator
uh,
is.
just hire a good de defensive coordinator,
Exactly.
and
And
he'll worry about
delegate.
the defensive side. And we need some personnel on the defensive
Yeah,
side.
and that's on Brandon Bean.
Hmm. Yes. Um, so there you go.
I never liked the optic. I didn't like the optics of him getting promoted. Just
Yeah, I thought
didn't
the timing
sit
was
well with
wrong.
me.
If you want to keep him, fine, but you don't need to give him a new title because I don't think he deserved it.
Right.
I think some of the
The flaws of this year were from him.
oh yeah, yeah. And as a coach, you can only coach who you have.
Right.
Yes. Okay, so the coaches have input on personnel, but you can only coach who you have on the roster. So, you
Well,
know,
I know, but
and there are holes in the roster.
I there, but there was also some strengths that for some reason were weaknesses. Like Sean was a defensive back whisperer.
Hmm.
He could take
Hmm.
a six rounder and turn him into a starter,
Yeah.
which he's
Bedford.
done with
Yeah.
Christian Benford.
Yeah.
but his defensive lines have been completely ineffective, especially in the playoffs. You know
Yeah,
who has the
yeah.
last sack in a Bills playoff game? In a Bills, what is it? A Bills away game? Away playoff game?
Oh. Give me 30 seconds to see if I can
Okay.
think of it. Probably Shaq Lawson
Nope. Earlier,
earlier. Earlier, eh? I don't even know.
Jerry Hughes,
Oh wow, yeah, that's a long time
that
ago.
first Josh
Oh, that was the
playoff
Houston
game,
game. Yeah, that was the Houston
Houston
game.
game
That was the last time we had a sack on the road.
on the road. Yep.
There you go. You got to get yeah, I do, however, think that our D tackles that we drafted are shaping up,
Yes, I
looking
will agree. Deion
better.
Walker,
They look better every week, you know.
Deion Walker might be a monster, but honestly, I don't know if that was that hard of a pick, really.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
guy was a first round talent that slid because of an injury, but if they did their due diligence and they knew that he was going to
right,
be all
right.
right, but they did make the pick, so
Yeah, yeah.
I think that'll be good. But whatever McDermott's scheme was for defensive line, I just was never a big fan of. They seem to get gashed a
Hmm.
lot, and I know they like to run a lot of nickel, and that has its benefits
Yeah,
and has its drawbacks, but I don't know.
and he did transition more this year.
More of a base defense,
He
4-3
was
guy.
yeah, it was 4-3, but they used to just basically run the four down linemen as your pressure players, and they didn't blitz or they studded, but they didn't blitz a lot. They're a lot more blitzing this year,
There was a lot more
and
blitzing
and
this year.
coming from defensive backs and what have you. So your zone and some
More
zone
exotics.
blitzes, yeah.
Yeah.
So you were doing more of that, and which was nice to see. But
Just felt too little. It's too little too late.
yeah,
You had
yeah.
8 years to do that. And in the ninth year, you start to put it in. And I thought put up a pretty decent defensive performance considering the turnovers and the 3 points that you had no way of stopping because of the turnover.
And what was the last year that the Bills were fairly credible against the run?
Oh, it's been so long.
It's been so long that team, and and they, okay, they drafted the tackles this year. But I don't know, they never really fixed that problem. Even though, yeah, there were times this year where second half they came out and they stopped the run.
Yeah,
But there's other times that
they
they
were,
didn't.
they didn't.
And Josh had to play hero ball in that, for example, in that the Patriots game
That
where
was
we
just,
take the
yeah.
lead. I think we took the lead, and then
Hmm.
the next possession,
They come down to score.
an Ohio State running back scores on a long run because he gets out of a mass, and there's no
No one
anybody
around
that's
them.
supposed to be responsible for a cutback is gone. So, you know, and it's just stuff like that. And then Josh has to play hero ball, which he did do, and we win the game. But just some gaps like that can be bothersome.
Yeah, I think it just got old. And I mean, I'm optimistic for the future, but I am well aware that this hire can't fail.
That's what I told people, this has got to be the right hire. This has really got to be the right guy. Yeah, you cannot be looking for another coach
In three
2 years from
years.
now. This has got to be the guy. So you better find someone that can come in and take this team to the Super Bowl.
I wish there was more talent on the sidelines as far as coaches
Yeah,
are
yeah.
concerned. There's really not that much out there,
It really isn't. There's the ones that were fired, obviously.
which I don't have any. Not. I
Um,
have no interest in John Harbaugh. I have no interest in Pete Carroll. I have no interest in any of them.
no, the only one I would have really be an
Is
interesting
Brian Dable.
would be Dable or Belichick. would be two interesting uh,
Yeah,
choices, I think. I would like to see that. So just as a quick update, Matt, the Montreal is just scored a shorthander and they're up
great.
2-0.
Lovely.
Mellenstein, he does score shorties, doesn't he?
Wait, we're up 2-0?
We're up 2-0.
Oh, I thought you said Montreal was up 2
No, we're
nothing.
up 2-0.
Mm, good.
But this was a shorthander because we got a guy in the box. So the Sabes are looking good.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually have to watch them. They're gonna make me. I promised the guys that I would watch them if they got 4 games over 500, and they're well above that now.
Yeah, they're
So
well above that. They're the second winningest team in the league since Christmas. And Montreal is the third winningest.
you know, the last time that probably happened was possibly
Probably that team of probably that team that was just honored last week.
that.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
2005 team?
that 2005 team.
Matter of fact, last 2 nights ago was it? They played in Nashville. They were talking with JP Dumont
Dumont.
was
Should have
there.
never let that guy go.
No, they shouldn't have.
That was
Remember
silly.
JP.
That was
Remember
Briere,
old
buddy.
JP. So it's nice to see Sabres hockey back again, having relevance. But so now, yeah. So anyway, but let's get back on our Bills theme. But the relevant dates are going to be the day we hire a new coach,
Hmm.
and then
The draft.
I hate to tell Bean, the draft is going to be critical.
Hmm.
He better hit. He better hit this year.
Or trade for roster players.
Or yeah, or trade for roster players, which might be even a better idea.
The Rams did that and they're still fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of doing that occasionally because you're getting a known quantity.
And here's what seems to be his, if you want to call it his gift, he I mean,
Finds
I'm
guys
talking
later in the
about.
round.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
Bedford, fifth
just,
or sixth rounder. I mean, Bernard was a what, third rounder or
yeah,
whatever.
Walker was a fourth rounder,
You
I
can
think, or
get
third rounder.
quality players and coach them up.
Yes.
So,
Milano was a fifth rounder,
yeah,
I
Milano
think.
was a fifth rounder. Sometimes top picks are overrated. Sometimes, not all the time,
But you got
but
to hit. You
but you
got
got
to
to
hit
hit.
a
Yeah,
way higher percentage than you are
Kyer
on your
Lamb,
first and second rounders.
uh,
Either, well, I'll say your first, second, and third rounders. Your
yeah,
first 2 days, guys.
fine.
You better hit on those.
And but yeah, I that might be a good idea,
We'll see if you can
especially
get
where
them.
we're at. With Josh is going to be 30,
Yeah, we don't.
so it might be nice to bring a veteran player in,
I don't
not
know,
someone
like
that's over the
maybe a
hill,
wide
but someone
receiver,
who, right,
like
right.
maybe a youngish wide receiver that's on their second contract. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's something we need to look at. So anyway, yeah, the two important dates in Bill's in the Bills year is going to be that picking that head coach, the next head
Hmm.
coach, and that draft
Yep.
because we got to hit on both.
And then, minicamp
Yeah, minicamp. Yeah,
and see how it feels
and you
going into a new regime.
figure divisionally will be the Pats have that schedule more difficult.
Very difficult, much
I don't
like
see them having the
considerably
same
more difficult.
year next year as they did this year.
They're hitting it right.
Yeah. So it should be an interesting off season.
Agreed. You got anything else? We've gone over an
I think,
hour.
yeah, I think that's it. I think we let our opinions be known.
Yeah.
I mean, the Buffalo Bills.
And folks may not agree with them, and that's fine.
They
But
might not, but I
I
want to
know there's a
just.
lot of people that love McDermott and
I respected
wanted
the
him to still
man,
be here. I did too. I
and the
just couldn't stand the
players.
clapping.
The players definitely love the man. He
I
was
know.
a very integral part of their lives, and so he should be. And but once again,
13
like I said
seconds.
earlier, that's the NFL. It's what have you done for me lately? And he'll find a job and be very successful, I'm sure, in his next job.
Like 13 seconds, not beating the Chiefs at home.
Yeah, we had the uh, T-Bats misses the field goal 2 years ago. And
Mm,
is that the same year Diggs drops the ball? That most likely would have been a touchdown.
I don't know.
I think that was it too. And then last year, come up short again.
Mm,
It's always something. So, we got to stop with this.
nonsense.
All
Yep, I
right,
agree.
Matt.
All right.
Sounds
Good
good.
pod. Mm.
I will.
I'm gonna get these loaded up and we're gonna have to go through the list and see what the next episode is. And I need to have a little bit more going on around here.
Yeah, I see your new studio. Your
Hmm.
looking. I'm sure you'll get it up and running shortly. And as I
Yeah.
say, we've
I
enjoyed
know
our
this,
hiatus, but we are ready to get back into it.
right.
I do have a I do have our next show if you would like to hear it.
Yes.
The idea. I'm going to give it to you right now because I've been thinking about it
Well, don't
long and
step
hard.
all over the good bits, but
No, I'm
go
not. I'm
ahead.
just going to say I was thinking back the other day. I was going way back to 1967,
Hmm.
and I remember we were at religious instructions at
Oh, I probably hated that.
Nativity Church, and it was the Sunday of the first Super Bowl.
Oh, this is 67? Yeah,
67,
I
and we
wasn't
were
alive
just
for
we
60
were
more
shooting
years.
no, we were shooting the shit with the young guy who was the teacher,
Hmm.
and we obviously were changing the topic. So the we started talking about the game that the Bills could have been in, but we
But they
had
lost to the
lost that year
Chiefs.
to Kansas City again. And we were talking about the Chiefs and the Packers and who would win and what have you. And obviously, it was a lackluster game. Really wasn't a big. It was massive as far as publicity. It was actually on two networks, I believe.
Mm.
CBS and NBC both picked it up
Simulcast.
because CBS back in those days would cover the NFL
For
or
the
the NF.
NFC,
Well, NFC. It was before the merger. Yes, would cover the NFL, right?
NFL, which would, yeah.
Yeah,
And then the AFL.
and then NBC covered the AFL, which would soon become the AFC. So, the Packers dominated the first two Super Bowls. It wasn't even
Hmm.
close. Third one,
Do you
third
know that
one.
hold on. Do you know
Yeah,
that the MVP of the first one, Max McGee, also started Chi Chi's?
I did know that. Yes, I did know that. Yeah, yeah. Um, so
The third Super Bowl.
I'm thinking the other day in my at my desk, I'm thinking Super Bowl, Super Bowl. What game turned the Super Bowl in just another one of those year-end games that really aren't interesting because they're so one-sided
Into the Super
to
Bowl.
the institution it is now, like the Super Bowl.
And you think it's three.
My opinion was three. Jets, Colts.
Colts
Joe Namath guaranteeing a win.
guaranteeing a win.
And I'm going to stop right there. I don't want to ruin it for everybody, like you said. So we're
Broadway
going to
jail
talk about the game.
with
And it's
Broadway
not
jail.
Harvard and Yale. It is the game is Jets, Colts.
1969.
1969. And I remember it for two
Or was that the
reasons.
69-70 season?
I think it was so okay, so it'd be 66, 67, 67, 60, no, 69.
Okay.
68, 69 season.
Okay.
Um, so it was in 69. The I remember it distinctly because your grandfather, who I would have watched the game with, was
Hmm.
actually in New York on a radiology conference. So I was home watching the game by myself. Nobody else was interested in it. So, but then when your grandfather came back the next day from New York, he had two newspapers. He had the Daily News and the New York Times.
Hmm.
Front page, Jets defeat Colts. So it stuck in my mind, and thinking about it, I think, and we could talk about it on the next episode, but see what you think about the fact that is or was this the game that really changed the direction of the Super Bowl?
I'll have to look through the list of Super Bowls and
Also, if you get a chance
give it a look.
before then,
Yeah.
jump on YouTube and watch either the game or the condensed version of the game.
Mm. All right.
Because
Wasn't very high.
there was some interesting sidebars, which I'm not going to bring up now
Okay.
regarding that game.
All right. You're giving me homework.
Give me your homework.
What do you think? I don't do enough during the day? All right. So
Okay,
that is
Matt.
episode 20 of Echoes from the Arena. Be sure to catch us on our next episode, which we're going to be talking about well, I guess I should just call it the big game so we don't get sued. I don't know.
Right. I don't want to piss
Uh,
off. I don't want to piss off the Jets fans, but it's the last time the Jets were probably relevant. So there you
wow.
go.
I don't want to piss off the Jets fans as
Pre
he pisses off the Jets fans.
pre Woody Johnson.
Yes.
I think
Um,
Sonny Werblin was the coach or the
the
owner.
owner.
Yes. So there you go.
So you can find us on um, iTunes podcasts at Echoes from the Arena. Also, I'll be posting the Podbean link as well as our YouTube link in the very, very, very brief show notes that I'm going to put up on Facebook later tonight. So, for my dad, Greg, I'm Matt, and this was Echoes from the Arena.